Investor Mohnish Pabrai, in a recent Q&A session with the CFA Society, that's Chartered Financial Analysts Society of Mexico, laid out what he thinks is the very best way to invest. In just a sec, I'll tell you what that is. But first, Pabrai emphasizes that there are various ways to be successful in investing, even though this is the best way. Pabrai calls himself a value investor, although not in the traditional style of, say, Ben Graham. Ben Graham, for instance, bought stocks cheaply and sold when they got to intrinsic value. That's one way of value investing, but it's not how Pabrai does it now. Another style, but not the best in Pabrai's opinion, is the way Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett are buying Activision Blizzard, have been very recently. The deal is merger arbitrage. So the market thinks that the deal might not go through, but Buffett thinks there's a high probability it will, so they can capture the gap between what the market thinks and the intrinsic value, or what the company's actually worth. This is also similar to Elon Musk buying Twitter, so the market thinks that the deal has a high probability of not going through, that Musk will be able to get out of it. Well, it may go through. We'll have to see what happens. Both of these cases are value investing. It's betting that the deal will go through rather than falling apart. So what is the best way to invest, as Pabrai sees it? To begin answering, he tells the story of an Indian investor who recently died, called Rajesh Jhunjhunwala, who died with $4 billion to his name. So all of his $4 billion financial net worth was from the market. He did trade a lot, but he also kept stocks for a very long time, a few great company stocks for a long time. One of the companies he owned was Titan, which compounded at 30 to 35% a year for 2 decades, and he just held on to it through thick and thin, even though he did trade short term as well. Pabrai said that was to keep his mind occupied, but really he just held on to those few great companies for a long time. So the full answer is there are a number of different ways to invest, but the best way is to buy great businesses and hold them for a very long time. So that is to buy partial ownership in great businesses with tremendous economics and a great runway for growth. So this way, Pabrai says you only need to be right once or twice in a lifetime to do very well. Pabrai believes the correct investing model is Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and Chuck Akra. Akra asks, is the business getting better? If it is, leave it alone. Buy, invest, leave it alone, and let it run for a very long time. Chuck Akra's had more than one 100-bagger, so he has bought excellent businesses and just left them alone. So Pabrai says that you wouldn't sell Titan, say, at 50 times earnings, because it's a great business, but you might sell it at 200 when it gets egregious, only if it gets egregious. So that's the way Pabrai thinks is the best way to invest. Buy great businesses, search for great businesses and buy them, and just leave them alone. Let them grow for a very long time. Hold them through thick and thin, which is easier said than done. I've made other episodes on Mohnish Pabrai and the way that he invests. If you want to see those, if you're on YouTube, click on the screen at the end of the video or see links in the description for suggested videos. If you found value in this video, please like and subscribe and follow elsewhere if you're watching or listening elsewhere, and I'll see you next time.